The Dyatlov Pass incident, Russia's frozen mystery. It began as a simple hiking expedition. 9 friends setting out to conquer the icy wilderness of the Ural Mountains. But what they found there, or what found them, remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass incident, a story written in snow, silence, and fear. February 1959, Sverdlovsk, Soviet Union. 9 young hikers, students and recent graduates of the Ural Polytechnic Institute, prepare for a journey that would test their endurance and friendship. At the head of the group, Igor Dyatlov, 23 years old, an engineering student known for his discipline and calm leadership. With him were Zinaida Kolmogorova, bright, athletic, and warm-hearted; Rustam Slobodin, a sportsman, brave and loyal; Yuri Doroshenko, strong, always joking to lighten the mood; Ludmila Dubinina, fiercely independent, a natural adventurer; Nikolai Thibault-Brignoles, quiet, intelligent, the thinker of the group; Alexander Kolevatov, methodical, careful, always taking notes; Yuri Krivonischenko, the prankster, full of laughter; and finally, Semyon Zolotaryov, the oldest, a war veteran who joined them at the last minute. Together, they were united by one goal: to reach the snowy mountain called Otorten, deep in the Urals. In the Mansi language, the name meant "don't go there." They waved goodbye to friends on the platform. Laughter, flashbulbs, the crackle of an old Soviet camera. Their diary, later found among the wreckage, begins with optimism. "We are 9 now. The weather is good. Spirits are high. Tonight, we sing and dream of the summit." But they could not have known the mountain was already waiting. January 31st, 1959, the last known camp before the pass. The group reaches the edge of the wilderness. Snow covers the forest like a white ocean. The air is thin, brittle, heavy with silence. They joke as they set up camp, building a small stove inside their tent, cooking dinner, writing notes. They were experienced. They knew how to survive. But the next day, they would stray off course. A sudden blizzard forced them west, toward a mountain locals called Kolytsyko, the mountain of the dead. February 1st, 1959, their final night. The storm was fierce. Visibility nearly zero. They decided to set up their tent on the slope itself, rather than risk going back down to forest. It was an unusual choice, and perhaps their last mistake. Inside the tent, they ate a small dinner, wrote in their diaries, and took photos. Their last words written were calm, almost mundane. "The weather is bad. The wind is strong. We are tired but continue onward." Then silence, when they failed to return as scheduled. Families began to worry. At first, officials delayed. Soviet bureaucracy moved slowly. But when the hikers were still missing after a week, a search party was organized. Students, mountaineers, and eventually soldiers. What they found would haunt them forever. Searchers spotted something in the snow. The remains of a collapsed tent on the slope of Kolytsyko. It was cut open from the inside. Boots, clothes, and personal belongings were scattered everywhere. Inside the tent, no bodies. Only 9 pairs of footprints leading downhill barefoot or wearing only socks. They followed the tracks for almost a kilometer until they vanished near the edge of the forest. And then, under a large cedar tree, they found the first 2 bodies. It was Yuri Krivonischenko and Yuri Doroshenko, the 2 Yuris. They lay side by side, barefoot, wearing only underwear. The bark of the cedar was torn, as if they had tried to climb it, desperate, perhaps, to escape something or to see something in the dark. Nearby, the remains of a small fire still smoldered beneath the snow. Branches had been broken high above, meaning one of them had climbed almost 5 meters. But what did they see? No animal tracks. No signs of an avalanche. Only the storm and silence. Searchers continued uphill and found 3 more. Igor Dyatlov, lying face up, his hands clenched, facing toward the tent. Zina Kolmogorova, only a few hundred meters away, frozen mid-step, as if trying to crawl back. Rustam Slobodin, his skull fractured, but no external wound. They were found in a line, each appearing to have been returning to the tent. For more hikers were still missing. It would take 2 more months before the snow finally revealed them. When spring arrived, searchers uncovered the final 4 bodies in a ravine near the forest. Semyon Zolotaryov, Ludmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolevatov, and Nikolai the Bobrignos. But these 4 were different. Their injuries horrific. Ludmila's ribs were broken and her eyes missing. The Bobrignos, skull shattered. Zolotaryov, ribs crushed, eyes gone. And Ludmila, her tongue was missing entirely. The official report said the injuries were caused by a force equal to a car crash. Yet, there were no bruises, no external cuts. As if something or some pressure struck them from within, the Soviet authorities launched an inquiry, but it was chaotic, secretive, and full of contradictions. The lead investigator, Lev Ivanov, noted something strange in his files. The tent had been cut open from the inside, and the hikers had fled without their clothes as if driven by an unknown compelling force. Nearby, they found traces of radioactive material on 2 of the victims' clothes, and the skin of the bodies had turned orange-brown with strange burns. Witnesses from a nearby village claimed they had seen orange orbs in the sky the night the hikers died, glowing spheres floating above the mountains. Yet others whispered of military tests, secret weapons, or even paranormal forces. Theories soon multiplied like the falling snow. Some said it was an avalanche, but the slope was too shallow and the tent wasn't buried. Some believed it was infrasound, a low-frequency vibration caused by wind, capable of inducing panic and disorientation. Others blamed a KGB cover-up, suggesting the group stumbled upon classified experiments. And then there were those who looked to the sky, UFOs, energy weapons, or something even stranger. By May 1959, the Soviet government abruptly shut the case. The official conclusion read simply, "The hikers died due to an unknown compelling force." The files were sealed. The mountain renamed, Dyatlov Pass, in memory of their leader. But the questions never stopped. Years passed. The Soviet Union fell. But the mystery lived on, in whispers, books, and documentaries. In the early 2000s, researchers reopened the case, examining the evidence with modern technology. Some proposed a new theory, a rare type of slab avalanche, triggered by small shifts in the snowpack, enough to crush the tent but leave no large debris. Others weren't convinced. Why would experienced hikers cut their tent open from the inside and run barefoot into a blizzard? Why did some of them die of hypothermia, and others from massive internal trauma, as if struck by invisible force? Why the radiation? The missing eyes? The missing tongue? Every answer only led to more questions. Today, the site remains quiet, desolate, frozen in time. A small memorial stands at the base of the pass, marked with 9 photographs. Every year, new hikers visit, leaving flowers, lighting candles, whispering prayers to the wind. And sometimes they say the air feels different there. Still, heavy. Watching .9 friends went into the snow. They carried cameras, notebooks, and songs. They found something else, something no one has ever explained. The Dyatlov Pass remains silent, but the mountain remembers. If you enjoyed this story, remember the world holds secrets still buried in ice, darkness, and time. This has been Crime Chronicles, where every mystery has a heartbeat.